So I find myself just randomly releasing emotions. Some sad, some happy, some just kind of there. And I've always been a pretty emotionally triggered person. Meaning, like, I just feel a lot and I cry when things are just sensitive. I cry when people are happy. I cry when people are sad. I cry when I just feel a lot. But because I've always felt this much growing up with my dad, and he means so well, there wasn't like this relationship where I expressed how I felt. For example, if I fell and I was hurt, he would be like, toughen up, toughen up. He would still cater to me. He would still make sure I'm okay. He would like bandage me up, like very good care of me. Like my dad basically grew me up through a boy's or a man's perspective. So I saw the world from a man's lens or a boy's lens first before I saw the world from a girl's perspective. As I got older, like not expressing myself, not crying about things, not telling people that my feelings are hurt, having my feelings be invalidated or just suppressed. I was raised to show that I'm tougher or to show that I'm tough. And with that mindset, you think that pretending like you don't care or things don't bother you or things are not a big deal was the norm. So as I got older and with how I dealt with life and how I dealt with things, I just moved accordingly. Like, this sucks, this hurts, but like, who cares how it feels for me? And so when you look at things that way, you move through life physically and mentally. I just moved on. I just moved forward, but not really addressing how did this really make me feel? How I was feeling was never received well. And then there's my mom, who's the softer side. She wanted to know how I felt. She cared about what I felt. But when the first part of your life was raised to not say too much about how you feel, it's hard to now. Then I went to live with my mom. It's hard to then go into a mindset of fully expressing yourself. And then I came from a mom that always had to be strong. I always had to pretend like I didn't care. I always had to act like things didn't bother me because no one gave me the grace. I wouldn't say no one. A lot of people didn't give me the grace to feel or to express that, hey, this hurt me. People knew that they hurt me. They didn't care that they did. Like, it was like, okay, oh well, like that was their intention. Because of that, I was taught, like, when people go out of their way to hurt you, you have to keep pushing, like, cause what else are you gonna do? And now that I'm in a softer place in my life, now that I don't agree with the pretend like you don't care, act like nothing bothers you mindset, it allows me to feel all the things that I feel. Feel when I'm disappointed, feel when I'm sad, feel when something triggers me, feel it and release it. So now it's funny because it's like I'll have a perfectly fine day and then I just feel like crying. I'll be watching a show and it just triggers like an emotion and I just feel like crying. And it feels like the young me, that little girl, that young adult, that teenager that just never felt like it was strength to express that, is finally able to just release that without guilt, without judgment, without feeling like something's wrong with her. I'm healing the younger version of me so that the current version of me can walk through the world so softly. I've always had to be hard and tough and strong, but it's like it didn't really benefit me because it's like I got to a point I feel like I wanted to prove how strong I was. I wanted to prove how resilient I was, how tough I was. But really, like, I just wanted to be understood and hugged and loved on and seen and appreciated. So then it makes me think, like, that's the core of who I was, the soft me, that loving me, that have lots of feelings me. But because I never felt safe enough to bring that to the forefront, I unintentionally show up in the tough, resilient, I don't care version of me, because that was the version of me that always kept me safe. And then realizing that even though that version of me kept me safe, it also contributed to some self-sabotage, because I went from going into a room trusting to going to a room bracing for impact. And then I couldn't figure out why things would unfold the way they did, because I think some people always felt that I was bracing for impact, because that's all I knew how to do. That's all I was programmed to do, because I always had to brace for impact. You know what I mean? So these are just realizations I'm having right now. And I'm like, wow, like when you really take time to sit and reflect and think through why you feel the things you do, why do I think the way I do, like I'm able to have a deeper understanding of who I am. So when I see things that wants to contribute to that self-sabotage, that wants to contribute to that anxiety of like bracing for impact, I'm allowed to like release it and not react to it and let it go. And it's a process. I'm not in that space anymore. So I have to let go of that mindset, because that was, one, never who I was, but two, I get to choose. And it's easier said than done, because when you really love people and you have close friends and family that will trigger those fight or flight emotions, instead of reacting to it or succumbing to it, now I take a beat. Okay, this feels familiar. So instead of me doing and saying things that I typically do when this comes up, let me take a step back, think about it, examine it, and then respond. And that is growth. And I'm very proud of myself. And I'm going to cry if I need to, be sad for a little bit if I need to. I'm going to feel whatever it is I feel. Instead of locking it away, I have a lot of feelings. I have big feelings. It's just how I react to them. Yeah.